Welcome to Kenyan Doc Tales. My name is Dr. Luciana. Today I want to talk about jaundice in adults. And my story is rather personal. In fact, it makes me a little sad to narrate this, but we need to learn these things, don't we? Now, one day, many years ago, I received a call that my brother, my older brother, was admitted in hospital, very sick, with yellow eyes. Yellow eyes? I had seen him the week before and he was perfectly fine. So I knew things were not good. Adults don't just get jaundice. Adults don't just get admitted to hospital, especially a government hospital, unless they are very sick. So I went to see my bro, and what I saw depressed me. In fact, it threw me into mourning. His eyes were completely yellow. And for me, that was not good. Unfortunately, doctors can't stop to think like doctors. We are not just sisters, we are also doctors. And the sister in me was overtaken by the doctor in me. And I knew my brother was going. To cut a long story short, my brother went. He died a few days later because of jaundice. What causes jaundice in adults? Last week we talked about jaundice in babies, but today I want us to talk about jaundice in adults. Red blood cells have a lifespan of 120 days, and then they get broken down and they are replaced. So after 120 days, red blood cells being broken down is nothing unusual. Bilirubin is released and the liver handles it. But sometimes they are broken down before 120 days. For example, if there is disease, like malaria, it will break down red blood cells en masse, and a lot of bilirubin will be released. So that person, you get jaundice. Liver diseases, you break down red blood cells because the liver is the antitoxin center of the body. If it has a problem like hepatitis A or hepatitis B, or any other problem in the liver, it will not be able to break down. It will not be able to handle the excess bilirubin. You know, sometimes there's a problem in the pancreas. We call it the head of the pancreas. That is where the bile duct passes through. The bile duct carries bile from the liver into the intestines. If it is obstructed, the bile accumulates in the liver and bilirubin accumulates. So we've seen three different scenarios: breakdown of red blood cells, liver disease, obstruction of the bile duct. They will give us excess bilirubin and they will give us jaundice. And all those things are very serious diseases. When you talk about obstruction, it's usually cancer of the head of the pancreas. When you talk about hepatitis B, it's not treatable. When you talk about alcoholic liver disease, it's not treatable. So the minute you see an adult with jaundice, you surrender. You know he's going. Now, there are a few things. It is not entirely doom. There are a few things that can cause jaundice in an adult, but they are not life-threatening. For example, hepatitis A. Hepatitis A is an infectious disease that gives you jaundice, but it clears. Or a bit of hemolysis in malaria, just a bit of it, will give you bilirubin, will give you jaundice, and it will clear. So not everything that gives you jaundice in an adult will kill you, but most of them are ominous. Most of them, there's nothing you can do. It is that serious. Some of it is unavoidable, but some is avoidable. If you are working in a hospital, get vaccinated for hepatitis B. If you're working in a laboratory anywhere, if you're working in rescue where you handle massive bleeding patients, get vaccinated against hepatitis B, and it will be life-saving. Because the minute hepatitis B goes into your blood, that's it. It has no cure. You live with it for life. So my bro went because of jaundice. So for me, it's a sad story, but it's a sad story that I'm using to educate you, that you may know about jaundice in adults. See you next week, probably on a happier story. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.